This morning's breakfast Bible bite is taken from the prophetic Psalm 75, verses 9 and 10. Verse 9 of 75 reads, "But as for me, I will declare it forever. I will sing praises to the God of Jacob." God's people will occupy themselves singing praises to Jehovah, while the wicked are drunk with the wine of God's wrath. The righteous will declare praises for his name, while the rebels roar in anguish. The previous psalm, Psalm 74 and verse 4, taught us that it is indeed the case on earth since the post-lapsarian fall of Adam, where God's adversaries have roared in the midst of God's meeting place. Psalm 24, verses 4 and 6 recounts the one who has clean hands and a pure heart, who has not set his mind on what is false, and who has not sworn deceitfully. He will receive a blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. Such is the generation of those who seek him, who seek the face of the covenant-keeping God of Jacob, who has kept his covenant while he has made the covenant that he has made with the patriarch, and has redeemed the remnant. Therefore we will spread abroad his fame throughout the world, where mortal human life exists, and which has been yet to be transformed. Verse 10 of Psalm 75, "And all the horns of the wicked will be cut off, but the horns of the righteous will be lifted up." Horns speak of power and the return of Christ to set up his millennial kingdom. The power and unjust authority of the natural-born, spiritless man will be destroyed when Jesus ascends his throne in Jerusalem. The godly administration will be one under which the wicked will always be punished, and where the righteous will be blessed. Let's reread Psalm 75 and verse 2, where the Lord says, "When I select an appointed time, it is I who will judge with equity." When we look at the mess ungodly governments have made of the world, our own heading down the same unrighteous path, the remedy is simple and is found in God's instruction manual, our Bibles. People have only to apply God's principles to civil society, and the same principles that God uses to govern the universe, and those principles enacted will establish the most perfect type of civil governments for the prosperity of humanity. The psalm appears to be a prophetic song about the second advent of Christ, concerning the nearness of the Almighty. Will judge both in blessing and righteousness, and wherein the judgment of wrath the horns of the wicked will be cut off. Power and liberty will be restored to the throne in Jerusalem when Christ begins to execute justice by subjugating the godless that had gloried in their reign of oppression. But the horns of the righteous will be exalted, and perfect peace will be experienced on earth for 1,000 years.